like to welcome everybody out tonight to the third watch party of the season. Tonight we have some football staff. We'll get ready to introduce them, but we'd like to thank Kirkwood and Company for hosting our watch parties. They are offering half-price appetizers and $2.50 pints for us tonight. We'd also like to thank the Alumni Association for putting on our watch parties. We appreciate everything that they do. So tonight, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to three of our football coaches. Our first coach on the far left, our wide receivers coach, Eric Taylor. Our coach in the middle, our defensive backs coach and special teams coach, Gilbert White. And your head football coach for the Highland Community College Scottie is Jeff Hancock. Okay, this first question is for all three of you. So, talk to us about how you got into coaching and what your path has been to get here to Highland Community College. Coach Hancock, you want to go first? We'll just go down the line.
Sure, I can do that. For me, when I got started in coaching is because when I was in high school, I had a young coach who was the first person that ever told me that I had a future and that believed in me. And so for me, that's kind of propelled me to my calling of what to coach. And so in all the years I've coached, I just wanted to sort of give back and hopefully be that somebody for someone else like that coach was for me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to top. It's kind of the same thing. So growing up, I played sports my entire life, so I was always looking for somebody to tell me, like, hey, you're pretty good at this. Keep working on it. Keep doing this. So I always wanted to be the coach that I didn't have growing up. Somebody to tell you, like, hey, you can do it. This is the direction you want to go, just to give you, direction in life, direction in sports or school or whatever. So I was kind of looking for that person looking to be that person that I didn't have growing up.
And my experience is fairly similar. When I was young and played youth football, I had some bad experiences early. And as I became an adult and I graduated high school, I missed the game and I had an opportunity to be a youth coach. And I just jumped at it right then and there. And 10 years later, I was getting my degree to be a high school teacher and a high school coach. And I was very fortunate to be able to have an opportunity to come here and be a part of Coach Hancock's staff.
Well, we appreciate you guys and the role that you guys take on as role models for these students. It sounds like we have a great group of coaches, and we're excited to have you. Kind of leads into the second question. You kind of touched on it a little bit, Coach Hancock. Who can you credit for getting into coaching, or who is that one role model you had as a coach that really pushed you to take this on as a profession?
Well, I think that kind of the same answer for the first question you gave me is, that coach that I had, I was in ninth grade, he was my offensive line coach. And like I said, he's the one that believed in me and told me my life had meaning and a purpose, and that was the first time I ever heard that. So he's the one that got me into coaching. I've been very fortunate to be able to work for some great coaches along the way. Obviously, one of them is here, Coach Allen. I'm so thankful to have him back also as part of our staff, coaching tight ends. And having role models like Coach Allen, it's just been tremendous for me. And I just hope that I can emulate the things that I've learned from them and make them proud.
For me, it was when I first started playing football in 8th grade. It was my head coach, Michael Glenn. He was always there for us whenever, it was 5th through 8th grade. Every time I called his house, he answered the phone. I had a question, Coach. If it's a little bit of gray in my sock, can I wear them? Yes. If my mom bring me to the game late, can I still play? Yes. And he taught us discipline. Hey, when you go home, kiss your mom. Take the garbage out, do the dishes, things like that. So he taught me structure and discipline. So I'm like, that's something that I want to do. Slowly but surely, I realized, hey, that man that influenced me was a coach. That's what I want to do.
For me, it's two men from when I was in high school. A man named Vince Sismar, who was the first coach I had that really challenged me and really, instilled in me the value of work ethic. And, no matter if you're an undersized guy, as long as you put in the hard work and you do the things that your coaches are wanting you to see you do, that it's possible for you to succeed. And secondly, in high school, Matt Farino, he's my position coach. He's actually was the man that gave me my first opportunity to be a high school coach on his staff back in 2011. And without those two guys, I don't think that I would be the coach that I am today.
Okay, these next few are for Coach Hancock. So, Coach, how difficult was it to keep the students focused on the goal of playing the season when it finally got moved to the spring? We had them here all fall. I'm sure they were just going to get out of the field. How difficult was that for you?
That's a good question. First and foremost, I got to say, the assistant coaches that have helped with that, because without them, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be possible. But I really think that we just were honest with the guys and told them what the deal was right up front. When I first thought was going to be shut down, I told them, I don't want there to be any surprises or hear secondhand from, social media. And I told them what the positives and negatives were each step of the way. One of the positives that we didn't play last fall is, quite honestly, a lot of the guys didn't do everything they should have because of quarantining and living their best country. Like I told them, they weren't in shape. So really, they're going to be better in the spring than they were last fall. So staying focused on the positives, and giving guys the reasons like why it's a good thing. I mean, it's tough. It's been tough for everybody. The pandemic has really taken a toll on a lot of people, especially with mental health. And so the ability to still be able to work out and be able to practice and follow that help. But again, it goes back to the assistant coaches and also conveying the same positive messages.
That is one positive, I guess, because it is it gave you a little extra time being a new staff and have a lot of new players. So, which leads me into the second, your current roster. Talk to us kind of about what that looks like. It sounds like you have a lot of young guys on the team this year, a lot of returners. So, what does your current roster look like?
Currently, we have about 80 guys on the team. We signed 10 to 12 new guys at semester, but we really did COVID. We didn't want to bring in a whole bunch at semester, just a few less guys, a few less people to have to worry about, trying to be safe. We have 18 guys that are still here from when I took over, so they're returners because that was the last time we played. And the rest of them are all new guys. We have a few transfers, but most of them are high school student athletes. We have, how many do we have coming from Kansas? You guys know? 17 to 20.
18, yeah.
And we've signed, I think, for this recruiting class, about 26.
Yes, 26.
So, and the rest of them, for us, our out-of-state area is, I spent a significant time in my life coaching Louisiana at Louisiana Tech, and then in high school, and two of our other coaches, Coach Lando and Coach Ellis, spent time in Louisiana. So a lot of the kids we get are from Louisiana, if they're from Kansas.
Very good. So your philosophy when it comes to recruiting, it sounds like you're recruiting a lot more Kansas kids. What are the challenges that come with that, especially during the pandemic and COVID?
It's a loaded question.
Give us the short version.
Politically correct. Let's just say there's a lot of bridges that need to be mended when I got here in terms of the Kansas high school coaches. So I think kind of once they saw that we have the best interest in mind for the kids, and that we sincerely do want to recruit some Kansas kids, I think that really has helped, and I think it shows in the recruiting, and we've all got our own area to recruit in Kansas. So it's a little bit of a transition there. I got yelled at a couple of times when I first called. So it's been pretty good overall. The problem is, now that all the Jayhawks have Kansas kids, is now the other Jayhawks have never recruited Kansas kids before, are scrambling to try to get them. So it's been tough to find. Because for us, it isn't just finding the best players. We kind of don't matter Kansas or anywhere else. We want to pick kids too. And that's important. I'm getting too old to chase them up like that. No matter how good a guy is, at some point we're going to cost him, right? Whether it's a dumb penalty in the game or doing something in the community that's going to give you a program of life. I don't need that. And the school doesn't need that. So there's a lot of kids that got offered by every other Jayhawk that are from Kansas and they get offered. So for those kids that did offer, we've done our homework on, and they've really got the qualifications we expect of a student athlete.
So, what is the day in the life of a Highland Community College football player? From the time they wake up to the time they go to bed?
Pre-COVID?
I say right prior to the season coming up, what's your expectation for them when they bring in the time to do it?
Not be late for anything. Be on time, pay attention, stand up in schoolwork, don't be afraid to ask for help. Make sure that they are handling their business in the weight room and running right now. Because we start practice March 1st, we are running 3 nights a week. That's where half my coaches are right now. The guys are over at the Wellness Center running, conditioning 3 nights a week, and then lifting 2 days a week. Because right now, what's more important is that we're in condition, that we're in good cardiovascular shape. The weights, you're not going to make a huge game between now and March 28th when we play. So for us, we still want to start building that back up. Because really, we had 2 months off too before the Christmas break. So we're kind of some drop back down again. We got to build it back up. The biggest thing is in getting in shape. But priority number 1 is always for them.
So I think I appreciate that. We always talk about the student athlete, and the student always comes first. And that's part of your mainly for academics and then sports is separate. So that's great. Okay, this is for all of you. We'll start with Coach Hancock. If you want to start at the end with Coach Taylor, we can start with Coach Taylor. Okay, what has been your best experience since coming to Highland?
I would have to say, just actually being here. Seems like my family has a bit of a tie here. My younger brother played here 20 years ago for Coach Hancock. And just being able to be a part of this community and just be able to live out the opportunity to live my dream. That can be real cliche-ish, but getting this opportunity is really, really important to me. And being able to start my college career here at Highland, someplace where my family's been already and left an impression. The amount of people that I've met that actually remember my brother here has been eye-opening.
Because he was the only 18-year-old ball guy.
True, he probably was the only 18-year-old ball guy. But I think that's what it is. And then readjusting to this weather. I'm originally from Ohio, and it's not something that I'm not used to. But the last 4 years, I've been living in Jacksonville, Florida, and got really accustomed to those Florida winters. My mother told me 2 days ago it was 75 degrees, and she wasn't my mom. I probably would have cussed at her.
Same question.
I would say I think my best experience here is today. Yesterday was yesterday. Before that was that. Being here with all you all, I know 90% of the people in here. Getting to talk to, mingle with, network with everybody that's here. I'm here with these handsome guys all day long. Even though they get on my nerves, I still love to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and we hit it hard at work. We're trying to get things done, and just every day here at Highland, and of course I'm a people person, so I like to get out and meet people. These kids are a very big impact on my lives. I'm waking up the next day trying to figure out how to motivate them to be better. So it's not cliche. Everybody that knows me that knows I love these kids. I love the people that I work with. And Highland as a community, as a college, has been really, really good to me. So every day is a great experience for me.
Well, I got to admit, when I was here 27 years ago, when I first showed up from Detroit, Michigan, I thought, where the heck did I just move to? And the day I left here, I thought I'm never going to come back to Highland again. But now that I've been honest with you, I can tell you the fact that I get to come back and be the head coach at a place where I kind of got started early on, and again, have to look for mentors like Coach Allen and Coach Dunsley, and learn a lot from them, people I greatly respect, to be able to kind of do what they've done. That's been number one. The second thing is just you guys had a chance to meet my assistant coaches. The fact that I got, to me, it wasn't just hired guys that knew X's and O's. It was good people too. They know their X's and O's. So but hired good people too. And, I got to say something else that's really neat to me in this profession of coaching is, there's an old coach who's saying that a reporter asks a coach, "How successful are you?" Say, "Come back in 20 years and I'll tell you." To me, that's what it's all about. And the fact that the guy that's sitting back there, the hat on, who's our new assistant track coach, was a receiver for me 12 or 14 years ago at the University of Michigan. and to see how successful he is, he was a goofball back when he was a freshman. But that's the kind of thing that fires me up. And to see them go on and be successful, that's awesome. I mean, when that happens, to me, I don't know if that directly answered the question you asked me.
No, I think that was perfect. Yeah, we like to hear those stories, and we like people coming back to Highland and being part of something special. So we appreciate it. Next question, this is for all of you. What do you want your student athletes to say about their time at HCC when they leave?
Very good question.
And you're going first.
Generally, I would like for them to say that they learned a lot, that they've developed tools to put in their toolbox, not only on the field as players, but as men, as they move forward in their academic careers and their football careers, and then their lives as men and husbands and fathers. If there's anything that we can impart to them that they take away from their experience with us, that makes it all worthwhile. I think we all have those things, those life lessons that we learned, and we're committed to the idea of it's more than just playing a sport. There's life lessons to be learned.
Kind of the same thing. I have a 6-year-old son, yeah. And when all of this is said and done, every athlete that I've ever coached, I want them to be able to say, like, hey, your dad was a great guy. Your dad helped me. Your dad did this for me. Your dad gave me good advice. He made me into the man that I am today. So as long as they can take that with them, now I wouldn't be the only man, of course, that made them, but my advice helped to mold them. And I want them to be able to say that. Us sitting up here saying who influential coaches were in our lives, I pray one day that, an athlete or position kid that I coach right now will be able to say, like, that man helped me to become a coach, and that man helped mold me into the person I am today.
I'm up. It's hard to top these people from the top. I'll just say this is a good DJ player. Always a good this. You have to block out about 3 more hours. You have a special session. I guess what I want our kids to get out of this, and like I tell them when we recruit them, and we all tell them this, we want you to be as marketable as possible so you have a second opportunity to go on to reach whatever goals and dreams it is that you have. I tell my kids, we're going to love you, but we don't want you to be here longer than you need to. So another thing I've learned in all the years I've coached, most kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, a lot of times the things that they have, I was this way. You don't appreciate or really kind of learn a lesson until later on. I just really hope that when they leave here, a year or two down the road, maybe later on, probably 2-3 years down the road, they'll look back and say, what? I thank goodness I went to Highland because they had a coaching staff and support system at this college. They cared a lot about it. It really helped me start my path to success. So to me, that's what, I want kids to want to come back. I was just on the phone earlier with a kid that played running back the last 2 years ago for Detroit. He's got a 6-foot offensive lineman now. And he said, I want to come back to a game. I can't wait to have him. It's going to be great. Those kids want to come back. They look back at the time they're fine. That's what I hope.
Well, it kind of sounds like that's what the recruiting philosophy is. And any kid that hears you guys talking is going to surely put Highland on top of their list. Coming to gentlemen that are going to mold them into people that are going to be productive in society. We appreciate that. Okay, we're moving on to our next set of questions. This is the one-word responses. Some people, yes. You passed. Okay, first question. When people watch the team play in the spring, what is one word they're going to use to describe your team?
Oh, you go first. Class.
Strong.
Discipline.
They're saying Coach White had the best response. Okay, second one. Describe in one word the entire coaching staff.
One word?
One word.
That's the toughest question you've asked. Characters.
Handsome.
Humble.
We got that one right. Okay, how would you describe yourself in one word?
I didn't even get asked that on my interview. Yeah, that's the list. Dedicated.
Determined.
Genuine.
Hey,
I should have said what I mean after that, because I'd be fine.
I didn't ask you like that. But... Okay, this is our fast five. Okay, so we're going to go quickly. Pick one or the other, okay? All right. Yeah, pass the mic. You're going to answer, everybody's going to answer one time.
Okay.
Okay, fast five. Big 10 or Big 12 football?
Big 10.
Big 10.
Nice try.
Big 10.
You guys are just...
From Illinois.
Okay. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Batman.
Batman.
Sweet or unsweet tea?
There's no doubt. Sweet.
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 All right, toilet paper over or under? The roll.
Hands on the
Our names, toilet paper over or under?
Now, I actually got asked this on the job interview once.
Really?
Very last question on the
It's
job
gotta be
interview.
over.
It's gotta be over.
It's got to be over.
I think there's some people out there.
I already know.
All right, here's the last five. Coach Tom Osborne, Coach Bill Snyder.
Don't shit Beckler isn't an option.
I don't know.
Well, since I'm in Kansas, I'll say Snyder.
Snides.
Snyder.
So there's no way I can talk you into putting in the bubble risky this spring. Okay, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with everybody?
Well, I just want to say I really appreciate the fact that you guys have set this up and give us the opportunity to do this. Any chance that we have to kind of talk about the program is always a plus. I apologize, I kind of get over cold, so I keep talking for a while. We look forward to being able to finally get to play. You know, I joke and tell people everybody in Highland still loves me because I haven't lost the game yet. So I do have that going for me. I've been here a year, I'm still on the field. So we're going to hope to continue that in the spring. But if you guys get to come to games, we sure hope everybody can come out and watch us play. I can't tell you how good we're going to be right now because we haven't really done much. I can tell you that in another month how good we're going to be. But we're going to be fun to watch. As you know, said in our one word, we're going to be competitive, we're going to be disciplined, we're going to have class in how we handle our business. You know, JUCO football doesn't have to be what they see at Last Chance U, which I think that's a stereotype for a lot of people. So, that's really what I wanted to say. I knew you would have something.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to all of you all that help us out every day. Like, we talk about that all the time. You know, Coach Hancock, like, man, we appreciate everybody in the other offices and other buildings that help us out as a football staff. Also, thank you to Coach Watkins and Coach Landau that are at the basketball game working. Of course, Coach Smith and Coach O who aren't here with us, but they always in our hearts. So just thank you to everybody that help us out during day-to-day operations. It would not happen. A lot of this stuff wouldn't happen without you all. So we want to say thank you for that too.
Okay, well, you know what? We're here to support you no matter what the score is at the end of the game. I think you'll have a lot of dedicated fans, and just listen to your answers, know that you're supporting students. We're going to be behind you 100%. So we appreciate it. Let's give a final round of applause for Coach Kaler, Coach White, and your head coach, Jeff Hancock. We have a couple of Highland Community College football coaches up here with us today. We have assistant coach Enoch Smith with the defensive line, and we have Coach Bradley O with the offensive line. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, thank you for taking some time with us. We just have a few questions we'd like to ask you, just to kind of get to know you and kind of what the upcoming season looks like. First question, talk to us a little bit about how you got into coaching and what your path was to get to Highland Community College.
Well, I started off coaching because of my son, for the most part. After retiring from football, he told me, Dad, I want to play football. I was like, oh no, let's not go that route. But his commitment, his desire to play football put me in a position where I had to get into the coaching realm. And last year in 2020, when I found out Coach Hancock was coming back, we kind of played around with it. And here I am today. I'm here back in Highland after approximately 20-some years.
Great having you back, Coach.
I actually got into coaching because, to be completely honest, it's the only thing I was good at. I grew up in Texas, and everybody, I guess, knows that stigma of Texas football. It's a religion or whatever you want to call it from there. But, I just, being around that, my older brother actually played at Oklahoma State and did that, and I kind of just followed his path. He's actually a Texas high school coach as well, and so kind of just stuck with it ever since.
Very good. Do either of you have someone you can credit or an inspiration of what got you into coaching, a specific person or an event?
Well, as I said, my son was the first path, but Randy Ball, he's currently with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was my head coach when I was at Missouri State University, and just seeing his path and all the lives that he, impacted over time definitely, led me into wanting to coach and trying to do the best I possibly can to bring up the next generation of leaders to make them, successful in the game that I ultimately love.
Awesome.
Yep. I would probably have to say my older brother kind of got me into this, and then after college, it's kind of funny that it all comes back to, I guess, full circle. My first job out of college was actually with our defense coordinator, Coach Landall, and he actually put me on with Coach Hancock. So they kind of brought me into this profession, and they're two of my great mentors. So I mean, that's kind of how I got involved with this.
Okay, the next question. Talk to us about some of your current position players, defensive line, offensive line, what that looks like for this year.
Well, I'll talk from the group as a whole. We're relatively young. The two returners that was from last year's team. One was actually a linebacker that's being converted over to the defensive line. So we got a lot of young guys that's coming in with, very little experience, but we're transitioning. We're building them up to get ready for game-ready speed, which we're looking forward to March. Right around the corner, we expect a big thing from them, so we're excited for this upcoming spring.
I'll talk about my guys as a group as well. We're going to be very, very young. I'm returning one offensive lineman who actually redshirted last year. But, the beauty of those guys is they're all coachable. Ever since I stepped in day one, they really bought into what I do, what I'm about, my philosophy and things like that. So, kudos to those guys. And that's half the battle, is getting those guys to believe in what you do. Hats off to them. We're not the biggest bunch, but we have a running joke. We call each other the sweat bees, I guess you'd say, because there's so many dang sweat bees around here. When you knock one of them down, there's 10 more coming. So we're going to be like that. We're going to be gnats running around, little sweat bees, whatever you want to call it, just pestering people all day. So that's my group.
Well, we appreciate those answers, and we're excited to have you. We know it's a young team, but we're going to have a lot of support for you here in Highland, and so we're excited that you're going to mold those kids into good football players and student athletes. So we're thankful for that. Next question. What has been your best experience since coming to Highland Community College?
Well, the best experience is seeing the GPA rise up. We were struggling when I first got here, trying to change the culture. When you change the culture, you create a coach that kind of puts them to the mindset of thinking outside of the box. Most of them came in. When we came here, it was a little different than when I was here, I would just say. But changing the mindset of the players, getting them to buy in to, if you're going to be D1, you got to believe, got to understand, you got to be in the top 2%. And that's in the classroom, outside the classroom, your character as a whole. So from an academic standpoint, I'm excited what we're doing.
Best experience would probably be just seeing all of our kids grow within a year. They made leaps and bounds and strides and all that good stuff, just becoming better people. And that was the main thing with what we wanted to do. Obviously, piggybacking off of what Coach Smith just said about grade point average and things like that, that was one of them. But just making sure that our kids can, at the end of the day, become great husbands, fathers, and all that stuff, great leaders in the community of Highland as well. That's that right there. It's a lot. That's probably my best experience so far.
Okay, one final question I have for you. What do you want your student athletes to say about their time at HCC when they leave?
It's a good one. One thing that they learned would probably to get through adversity, and just how much the community supported them as well. I mean, those are two huge things. It's just getting them prepared for life, and just they had so much support here at Highland, not only from us and the faculty, but the whole town, the whole community.
Same question.
Well, for me, I want them to see coaches that truly cared, a community that was really invested in them, that wanted to see them to become the best version of themselves. Ultimately, it's a great deal of support, and the community where they came from, coming to this culture here, is a fun, loving experience. You just have to make the adjustments and assimilate to what's around here. And once you do that, it can take you on to bigger and better things in life. Prime example of it.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with us?
I'd just like to shout out the Savage Squad, the D-line. Look forward to great things for you this year. Let's go. Let's get ready.
Let's Scottie.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking the time. Let's put our hands together for Coach Bradley O and Coach Enoch Smith.